rewrite the two summations as a single summation. We have a summation right here and we have another summation right here. In order to rewrite it as a single summation, we need to complete two conditions. Power needs to be the same, and lower boundary needs to be the same. To do that, let's begin by making power the same. So what can we substitute in for n in order for these two to be the same power? N has to be k plus 1 for here. And then n has to be k for here, because k plus 1 minus 1 is k. K is k. Okay, now, next step, we want to find the lower boundaries when these two powers are the same. So substitute n equals 2 for n here. So 2 equal k plus 1, which is k equals minus 1 on both sides. K will be equal to 2 minus 1 is 1. N equals k, which means that substitute 2 in for here. 2 equals k, which means k equals 2. So when these two summations have the same power, the first summation will have k equals 1 as a lower boundary, and the second summation has k equals 2 as a lower boundary. So now let's rewrite the summations. K equals 1. And now, whenever you make these two thingies, the k plus 1 will get substitute for all the values of n here. So you have k plus 1, c sub k plus 1, x k plus 1 minus 1, and k equals 2. Here we have k times k minus 1, c sub k, x to the k. All right, now we can clean this up a little bit. You have k equals 1, k plus 1, c k plus 1, x k, and k equals 2, k times k minus 1, c sub k, x k. However, if you look here, you see that you multiplied all this by negative 2, so you need to multiply all this by negative 2. Okay. You can also, for whoever likes it to be in the front, you can rewrite this as, one moment please, negative 2n, no, it will be a k because you substitute a k in. It will be a negative 2k times k minus 1, c sub k, x k. All right. Now look, the lower boundaries aren't the same anymore. And because this is a higher boundary, we want to turn this into a higher boundary so that these two boundaries are the same. And in order to turn this into a higher boundary, you want to substitute k equals 1 into this equation, and then add it to the original, which is this, but then change this to 2. Okay, I'll show you how. So if you substitute k equals 1 into this, you have 1 plus 1, c sub 1 plus 1, x to the first power. So you have 2c sub 2, x to the first power, plus, you want to plus this, but now change this 1 to a 2. Summation of k equals 2, k plus 1, c sub k plus 1, x to the k. And you want to add it with this. K equals 2, negative 2k, k minus 1, c sub k x to the k. Okay, now you have powers the same and lower boundaries the same. But that is not all. You can clean this up a little bit. So if we can clean it up, let's clean it up. So you have 2c sub 2x to the first power plus this k equals 2, and then you want to multiply it by k plus 1, c sub k plus 1 minus 2k, k minus 1, c sub k, all that multiplied by x to the k power equals 0. So this, my friends, would be your answer.